Stay tuned as we take a look at my very first amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Iron Man Bleeding Edge armor. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And as I said in the intro, this is the very first amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech action figure review on my channel. I have never actually picked up any of the previous figures in the past, even though I've been very tempted. Very nearly bought that Carnage recently, but it had to be Iron Man, my favourite Marvel character, which made me finally bite the bullet, pull the trigger and buy one of these figures. Apparently he scales really well with Marvel Legends. He's got tons of crazy accessories, so I'm definitely gonna have to step my posing game up. Really like this box art as well, very comicized and stylized with all these different poses and whatnot. And again, there is all the accessories you get in this box, which are crazy. So again, hopefully this should be fun. And again, more crazy pictures on the top and on the bottom. So yeah, very curious about this guy, not gonna lie. I know all about Revoltech figures. Of course, I've seen all the reviews online, but they're very stylized figures and I've never really thought they would fit into my collections or displays in the past. But again, had to be Iron Man. He is the one that made me do it. So without further ado, let's get it open. Pow, and here he is at the packaging. And I must admit, first impressions of this guy are pretty high. You can't really tell in the packaging because it's covered in plastic, but when you remove that plastic, he really does shine under the lights with that metallic paint. Really like the gold. I like that crimson red. It's just a really nice paint job, and this guy is definitely going to stand out on your shelves. So straight away I'm going into comparisons because I just want to sort of see where this guy is going to fit in my collection. So this is the Mark V SH Figure Arts, and these have always been a little bit under scale for me personally, but the Marvel Legends scales perfectly. Look at that, they are virtually the same height. Maybe the Mark 7's a tiny bit bigger, but still, do you see what I mean? This guy can definitely work in your Marvel Legends collection. So if that's what you're thinking off the bat, will this guy fit in your collection? Can you add him to your Hall of Armor? Yes, you can. Remember, it's the Bleeding Edge armor. So it's basically the comic book version of the nanotech. It can do what it wants. There are no rules with this armor. You can do anything. And definitely show that off with the articulation. Now again, this is my first Revoltech figure, so I'm finding joints all over the place, and there's definitely going to be things I miss, but you can basically get this guy in any pose you want, and all the joints are nice and solid as well. Nothing is loose on this figure. If I give it a shake, nothing is loose, which I really like. I really expected things to be a bit wobbly, but nope, those legs are very sturdy, so you can get him to stand in your pose that you want to. The arms have got a great range of motion. There's like ball joints all over the place. And again, anyone who's got Revoltech figures knows this already. But for me, I didn't really think it would work this well. Like even in a generic sort of vanilla pose, he still looks pretty good. Yes, the proportions are a little bit funky, but it's a man in an armored suit. Of course they are a little bit funky, so I think it works perfectly. The neck piece is a little bit sort of wobbly, and that can get a bit out of sync when you're posing them around, but as long as you're moving it back into place once you've found the pose you want, everything looks good. So yeah, that is just the figure on itself. This just looks good on its own. You can even get him crossing his arms. You know, you can't really get your Marvel Legends to do that, especially not an Iron Man figure. So yeah, this is going to be fun. So I'm definitely going to miss something, but I wanted to sort of talk about the accessories. So before I sort of trying to get this guy in some poses, let's break out the accessories and see what we've got. Now check out all of these accessories. This Iron Man comes with everything you see on the table, plus a stand and plenty of spare Revoltech joints. So yeah, this is why the price point is so high, and I could probably do a 20-minute video just breaking down all of these, but it's gonna be worth it. This guy is gonna be able to stand out on your shelf in some crazy unique poses that your other action figures can't. This is a must for any Iron Man fan, and if you're into the ACBA and taking pictures of your toys, then you're gonna love what this guy brings to the table. So of course I'm not gonna go through everything in massive detail, I just wanna briefly show you some of the stuff he comes with. So he comes with some blaster effects, and these have little pegs at the bottom, so anywhere you see a hole, then you can plug these into. It is that simple. So there it is in one of the fisted hands. He comes with 3 extra pairs of hands, so we got a fisted set, you get open palm set, and then you get some more open sort of flat palms. So you got lots of blasters, you get some sort of wing effects, then you get some sort of wrist gauntlets with these blades. So these are sort of wrist pads that you can just slot in over the hand. You get these crazy rocket effects. Now you get 6 of these, and all of these have their own little joints so you can manipulate and tweak and change. And again, anywhere of a hole, you can plug these accessories. There's some more wing attachments maybe. These are slightly bigger. These ones you can actually plug effects into as well. So you can get him blasting. So maybe you can get him rockets flying out his back maybe. And again, we'll do some crazy experiments in a minute. And again, these little 4 pieces can basically turn any one hole into 4 holes. So if you could only plug that one in the back of an Iron Man, you now plug this into one of these. You take a Revoltech joint in the back of that, you plug that in your Iron Man, and you can now plug 3 of the same thing into one of the holes. So again, so much fun to be had with this figure. You can't do anything wrong. It's going to be crazy. Not any one person's going to have the same pose on their shelf. Yeah, and as you can see, I've made a mess, but it's too much goodness. So let's bring back Iron Man and see what we can do. So let's bring Iron Man back, and just to speed up the process, I've started to plug things in already. And if you ever heard that term, any hole's a goal, well, that explains this action figure, because if I just quickly zoom in, you'll see there's like a hole there on the back, hole there on the forearms, and then I've already started plugging things in here. And those Revoltech joints give you some great motion. And again, even those have holes in. So again, anywhere you can plug something in, just do it, see what it looks like. And so there are some just random blaster effects in the back of the figure. And again, you can get some great articulation on the neck and the head. And you can get them into some great flight poses with some extra thrust there on the back. So they can be used as thrust, as blasters, anything you want. And I'm going to put some more on the legs. Why not? I found some more holes. Let's put some more on there. So again, no rules, people. And again, I'm probably not the guy you go to for posing action figures. Go and check out D Amazing. He is the master. I just want to talk about toys. And I genuinely do open them when I'm on camera with you guys. So this is my first time getting it in hand. So look at that. Just straight away, he looks pretty good. And I've only plugged a few things in the back. So let's zoom back out a minute and try some other things. So some of the things that I really liked about this figure are these rocket launchery effects. Now these on their own are really good. So anywhere there's a hole, you can plug them in. So as I've already shown, there's a hole right there under the arm. So again, these have joints attached to them. So again, good idea to heat these up, people, otherwise you're going to poke your finger, because these are quite sharp, to be honest. I've already stabbed myself a couple of times. But yeah, that goes in there, and then you can manipulate that, bend that how you want it. And there you go. Now he's got a rocket blaster blasting from the wrist. And again, that's just one little pose with one rocket, which looks pretty fun already. But again, remember that little square I told you about? And that square can turn any one hole into essentially 4 extra holes. All you need is one of your Revoltech joints. So you use the little spanner that it give you, and you can borrow a Revoltech joint or use one of the spares. You just have to hook under the ball and give it a little pull. So now I have a spare joint, not a problem. I'll plug that into the back on one of these 4 ports, and then I can plug more of these rockets in there. So just like Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. If you're from America, you will not get that reference at all. And let's plug that in. So let's turn one rocket blast into 3. And let's do that one in the other arm. And as you can tell, he's standing up, not a problem, even with all this stuff plugged into him. And let's plug it in there. Again, I would suggest warming these up first, but I haven't had time. So again, there's 3 rockets blasting off that hand, an extra rocket blasting off that one. And again, you can even articulate all of these once they're on the hand. So that one can face up there. So you can all face, go in a similar direction, I guess. Give that a little spin. There you go. So again, it's crazy. Obviously looked a bit mad. I'm just quickly trying to show you that you can literally plug in these accessories and do anything you want. But he even stands. Like, I'm just trying to get him flat-footed, but he will stand on his own. The weight isn't too much. It's madness. You can't even see those rockets. They're blasting too high. Pulling back a little bit. Again, not a great pose, but I'm just showing you, you can do anything you want. Again, spinning around on the back. So let's pull these out and plug in his sort of wings just to see what these look like. And again, there's some holes just there, there, and there. So here are the wing attachments. We've sort of seen these in the Mark 50 in the MCU recently, but this is where they're from. They're from the comics, people. All the source material. This is it. So let's plug them in there. And again, they articulate how you want. So again, pulling back out, you can see his wings. He's got his blaster. And again, if you wanted to, you can just pull out the hand. Again, get your spanner, people. Use the spanner. Whoops, that's just ran somewhere. Unplug that. Now he's got an empty wrist. Get your wrist blade. Put that on there. Get one of the spare hands. There's a Revoltech joint I can borrow. There's my spanner. Again, I could have done this video a lot smoother, but I just wanted to show you how mad this figure is in real time. So feel free to put this video in a time and a half, because it's just going to be me messing around with joints for most of it. But yeah, that goes in there. You get the point. It may have not went all the way in. Let's get one of the hands. There's an open palm hand. Let's get that in there. There you go. So now he's got an open palm hand with a blade. And again, that open palm hand's got a hole in it, so you can have a little blaster in there if you want. There you go. And all the blast effects seem to have like a little angle on them as well. So yeah, as you can see, he's already looking crazy. He looks like a crazy amalgamation, but I'm just trying to show you, again, the catchphrase for this figure is any hole's a goal. Just make sure you've got a peg. You can plug it in, anything you want. Use these 4-watt slots to make one hole into 4. And yeah, have some fun, people. I'm very curious to see what people do in the ACBA community with this guy. I'm sure people are going to have some fun. I might try and get him into some cool poses and do a little slideshow at the end, but I very much doubt it. As I said, go and check out The Amazing or many of the good ACBA artists on Instagram. I just wanted to talk about this action figure, and I'm definitely going to have to get him into a cool fighting pose and find a place for him on the shelf. But there's so much going on, I'm overwhelmed. And this video is probably half an hour long already. Okay, so to save myself the embarrassment of posing this action figure, I'm going to leave it to the experts. I just wanted to show this off and talk about it and say, if you're an Iron Man fan, definitely get hold of this figure. That is just a stupid fun pose as it is, and it is really easy to set up. So just remember, on the back of the figure, he does have a bigger hole in the back of his back, and that is so you can plug in the flight stand. He does have holes in the bottom of his feet, of course, as well. So again, so much room for posing possibilities and options. Please Instagram me your pictures if you're gonna take some of this guy. Very curious. I want to be inspired by the community. Even the back of the box gives you some ideas of what to do with this guy. So don't throw away the packaging, because the box has loads of funky ideas. It has like some weapon there, which I've even started to create there. So if I put that on his fist, he can have like some punching or kicking effect. And remember, I've not even plugged the wings in, and there's still all these smaller ones that I could probably put around the feet. And again, the blasters and the wings. And again, so much fun to be had with this figure. So yeah, my final thoughts are, if you're an Iron Man fan, this is a must. And just as an adult collector, it's fun to have a figure with so many options. Most of my figures, to be honest, just stand on the shelf. I like it when we get display options showing their powers, but this one knocks it out the park. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have any Revoltech figures, or are you like me, you're going to venture into the Revoltech world by getting this Iron Man? I really think you should. I think you're going to be very impressed in hand, in person, and yeah, let me know what you think. So as always, people, make sure you check out the videos tab. Still plenty of reviews on the channel, and I do apologize for the sloppiness of this review, but it was basically just me on camera playing with a toy I've just got in the post. So yeah, my apologies. But until next time, people, my name has been Dan W. Please hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you on the next one.